Well, they do say in an NBA final series, the series doesn't start until the home team loses. And it's the end of game one and the series has already started. Because the New York Knicks have taken game one from the San Antonio Spurs on their home floor. So much to unpack with this game. I don't even know where to start. I think the biggest part of this game for me, and there's a couple of shout outs to give on the New York Knicks side of things, but the Spurs, apart from their outside shooting, really just didn't have it on the interior like they usually do. For the first half, Julian Champagnie come out, Devin Vassell come out, and they were red hot from behind the arc, from the mid-range, and guys like that just shooting the ball at a really high clip. In the second half, there was none of that, and they were also struggling to get to the basket. And that really it all plays a role in their success as a team. And when Victor Wembanyama only has 6 field goal makes, and 2 of them being 3-point jump shots, it really is a testament to the defense of the New York Knicks. I think the New York Knicks, we really took for granted on the defensive side of the ball. We knew coming into this series how good this team was on the offensive side of the ball, considering they've won 11 games in a row. But we didn't really think about the defensive side and how impactful they were going to be when it come down to it against this Spurs team, who was amazing at attacking the basket, amazing at shooting beyond the perimeter, having Wembanyama, who is a once-in-a-generation talent, attacking the basket and also being able to take a step-back three if he feels like it. And, there's so many assets and there's so many parts to this San Antonio Spurs roster that I think got a lot of people worried for the New York Knicks. But one game in, Karl Anthony Towns. I think I'm going to have to spend some time today to actually talk about Karl Anthony Towns, because this effort that he put up today, not only on the offensive side of the ball, he was able to dribble. He realized early on in this game, he is able to put the ball on the floor and get past both Victor Wembanyama and Luke Kornet with reasonable ease. The only way that Victor Wembanyama is going to get in front of Karl Anthony Towns and stop his shot is by blocking him from behind. That is the only way that they stop the Karl Anthony Towns drive all game. And 3 years ago, when he was on the Minnesota Timberwolves and he was playing some of the best ball of his career, people would also bring up the question of, but Karl Anthony Towns sucks on the defensive side of the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, Karl Anthony Towns no longer sucks on the defensive side of the ball. This dude, we spoke yesterday and I thought there was going to be a couple of different looks for Victor, whether it be OG Anunoby, whether it be Karl Anthony Towns in spurts, but I did not expect Karl Anthony Towns to be the primary defender. And Karl Anthony Towns did a one-of-one job on Victor today. He has all the physical tools, and for him to be able to use those tools to his ability and put Victor off his game as much as he did today, if he's able to replicate that 3 more times, the New York Knicks win the series. It is basically as simple as that. When Karl Anthony Towns was on the court on the defensive side of the ball today, I never once thought that Victor Wembanyama was getting a free bucket or a free lane to the ring, or even a free jump shot for that matter, because Karl Anthony Towns, Lord only knows, was up in his chest for this entire game. I gotta give such a big shout out to Kat. Such an insane performance considering the circumstances, and just showing that he is no longer a one frame of mind person. Because Karl Anthony Towns, we've known for the extent of his career as just a pure 3-point big man shooter. But in these last couple of years, under Mike Brown, I think Mike Brown has done an amazing job on Karl Anthony Towns and who he is as a player so far in his development. But he's making him a playmaker. He's getting him better on the defensive side of the ball. And he's also just keeping his touches up offensively. And he's not settling for stupid 30-foot threes that I've seen Karl Anthony Towns of the past take. It's insane. And to be completely honest with you, I'm watching this team today. I know it's game one and the overreactions could be there and we could go into details and in a week's time it makes me look stupid. But this New York Knicks team looks fit to win a championship. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about teams and while they're in their motions and playing as a basketball team and as a unit as a whole, where you look at the roster and you think, like, it's not the roster, it's not the statistics, it's just purely going off the eye test. This team looks built to win a championship, and the way that they are playing the team basketball they are at the moment, they look like they are going to go all the way. And they looked a hell of a lot better than the San Antonio Spurs did today. There's so many things you can take from the Spurs. Like, obviously, Stephon Castle had a really rough game today. I think he never hit a three for the entire game. Was shooting the ball inside. Like, he was really rough and did not have the impact that he usually has on the defensive side of the ball today. You got guys to the likes of Keldon Johnson, which, to be completely honest, Keldon Johnson was unplayable today, and I think he is going to be all but unplayable in this entire series. And for a guy that won Sixth Man of the Year literally 3 weeks ago, it's kind of hard to look at that team in a finals series and say your Sixth Man of the Year is unplayable. But he come on and had 2 fouls within his first 2 minutes of action, got dragged, came back. I think he hit 1 3-point jump shot in about the third quarter, and that was it for the entire game. Like, there was no real impact from Keldon Johnson, whether it be defensively, offensively, crashing the rebounds for Keldon Johnson today just got him fouls on the board. That's all it did. So, yeah, I don't know where you go for game 2 with Keldon Johnson. I think he will continue to play to some extent, but I only see him getting no more than 10 minutes, to be completely honest. Like, he really was not a beneficial factor for them in this game today. To touch on Dylan Harper, because I think Dylan Harper today was the one positive for the San Antonio Spurs. If Dylan Harper was not on the roster, this game would not have been close. Because Dylan Harper came out in the first quarter where the Spurs, at the start of this game, they looked like they were a young team in the NBA Finals. They were making one pass straight into a 3-point jump shot. Victor Wembanyama was taking rushed fadeaways at the top of the block at the start of the game with 15 on the shot clock. Like, this team looked really, really scared at the start of the game. It wasn't until Dylan Harper came off the bench that Dylan Harper, I think, scored like 10 points straight by himself for the Spurs. And then that got them back on track for the rest of this game. He got them in the position where they were able to go up 14 points at one point in this game. He was the one that even stemmed the tide for them when the New York Knicks were making a comeback. Like, Dylan Harper did so many good things for this roster today. And the fact that the dude is a 20-year-old rookie is just insane. Like, I have no other words for it. He was by far the best player on that roster today. And going back to the New York Knicks side of things, like, you never really want to write off an outfit like the New York Knicks. Especially how we've seen they came from 22 down against the Cleveland Cavaliers and came back and won that game. You never really wrote them off at any point in this game, especially coming out of halftime when the Spurs, I think they rattled off 8 straight coming out of the break, if I'm not mistaken. And they just never looked completely out of it. Jalen Brunson got going in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson, he was basically getting told by the broadcast that he was having a rough night because the dude was shot 8 shots in the first quarter and only made 1 of them. Mind you, there was a lot of physicality with Jalen Brunson. He went down with both knee and ankle concerns in the first quarter. If I'm the New York Knicks, I'm living and dying by Jalen Brunson shooting the ball 30 damn times. Because if we lose a series, it's the exact same story with Chet Holmgren. Like, everybody was saying, for Chet Holmgren, we would rather you have 15 shots and only score the ball once. Because it means you tried. And Jalen Brunson was trying that fucking hard today, trying to get all the buckets that he worked for. It was just, like, even at the end of the game, the dude was pointing at the referees because obviously Jalen was not a fan of how much physicality, which I will get to in a moment, actually. But Jalen Brunson just, I think he is just silencing doubters one day at a time. 6'1" guard, he's not good enough to lead his team to the finals. He's not good enough to win the finals. He's like too short, not skilled enough, not athletic enough. Like, this dude is just a bucket. Whatever way you spin it and whatever the media wants to say about him, this dude knows how to get buckets. And he does it in the biggest moments. Like that last dagger that he hit with 20 seconds left on Devin Vassell, that was a foul. And I think that was why the pointing came into play. But the fact that the dude took 30 shots and had 30 points, I'm completely fine with that. If I'm the New York Knicks, I live by that. If Jalen Brunson shoots 5 for 30 and you lose the game, it's like it is what it is. I would much rather that than a Jalen Brunson that takes 2 shots in a Game 7 elimination final game. So that's just how it is, and that's how I see it. And getting to the officiating, like, I'm never one to go into the officiating. I'm never one, and I really did like how Scott Foster, James Capers, and I forget who the third official was today. Anyway, they let the game play for the majority of this game. Like, there was so much that was let go. There was so many fouls that just play on. You're in the NBA Finals, keep going. And I love that. And I love that sort of NBA where there's not a million fouls. But I feel like the Spurs were very physical with the Knicks today. Karl Anthony Towns going, like, he was a beast on the boards, mind you, but I feel like Karl Anthony Towns had to work so damn hard to get rebounds because there was arms and there was just flailing arms everywhere, pushes, like the whole lot. Jalen Brunson, I reckon he got fouled on layups so many different times and there was just nothing there. I think for me, the rebounding battles was the biggest one. Like, there was a couple of push calls made and things of that nature. But Karl Anthony Towns looked like he was drowning in San Antonio Spurs jerseys at some points in this game. Incredible. Landry Shamet, another shout out I want to give to, because Landry Shamet continues to amaze me this playoff run. I think the dude had 14 points or something and was playing basically crunch time minutes for the Knicks today. Which, if you told me a year ago that New York was going to be in the finals and Landry Shamet was going to be closing the game for them. Hey, shout out Landry. Like, I'm not going to trash him. Yeah, insane. Knicks take game 1. And the series is well and truly underway. It now heavily falls back on the Spurs because you do not want to be going back to the Garden down 0-2. I tell you that right now. Because that New York crowd, everybody has seen it all over the internet. That New York crowd is just insane. So yeah, I think that's basically all I've got for today. Mikal Bridges had a rough offensive game, but defensively he was in the passing lanes and he was making things happen to where he needed to be. Got to the line a couple of different times. OG Anunoby hit some massive shots in the fourth quarter, even though he basically too was an offensive liability for the rest of the game. Not offensive liability, but like he wasn't scoring to the extent that a lot of people expect OG to nowadays. Couple of big threes from him, going down the line, couple of big stints at the free throw line. Like, New York is by far the hottest team in basketball, and I don't think there is a single argument for that. And is the Heat enough to get them 3 more wins in this series? I genuinely think it might be the case. Because as I said yesterday, I just don't think the Spurs, it is their year this year. I just don't think it's the case. But anyway, I might die by that prediction, but who knows. That's about all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Game 1 is done and dusted. Game 2 is in 2 days' time, so that will be a crucial game for the Spurs, as I said. We'll be back reporting on that. I think I might be a little bit late to my recap, but I will get it out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys again for game 2. Keep running up the shorts and all that stuff because I'm continuing to pump that out. And if you're enjoying the content, keep connecting with me and all that sort of stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.